Hi, ich bin Johanna. I'm Johanna. And for the last 5 years, I spent most of my waking hours almost teaching professionals who are relocating to Germany or Austria, Switzerland, German, mainly survival German, but also some advanced German for professional use. And I'm going to share the key points that I've observed over these last 5 years and about 2,500 hours of seeing people learn German, what worked for them and what didn't. So let me share. This is the language learning from A1, which is complete beginner, to A2, intermediate B1, B2, and advanced C1, C2 stages. We're starting from beginner here, going to absolutely advanced, almost native level language skills here. And what people mostly need, what really moves the needle for them in the beginning, is learning phrases, so word groups that are ready for communication. So a lot of people just learn isolated vocabulary, isolated words, and that just leaves you with a list of words. But if you learn phrases, so word groups that are attached to some kind of a situation, a scenario, or some kind of meaning, those are ready for communication. So they are way easier to recall in the situation, in a real life scenario. If you're at the supermarket, if you're talking to the doctor's receptionist, if you have to talk to a delivery guy or woman on the phone, that's when these things are actually able to show up, and then you can recombine them to make your own communication as you move through the beginner levels. At this beginner stages, the more vocabulary that you have, the better you feel about your own skills. The faster you pick up what's going on, if not the details, at least the main topic, in the train, at the office, coffee bar, whatever. As you move through the beginner into the intermediate stages, still vocabulary is king. You pick up the basic grammar either way. And a lot of people who are more hands-on, there's two types of people. There's the brainy, I need to understand the systems and grammar type people. There is the hands-on, I'm just gonna just figure my way out. I'm just gonna talk and I'm gonna figure this out. And what happens is the nerdy, brainy ones, they really want to study the grammar in the beginning and they struggle actually speaking. They feel very anxious and really bad about themselves. Like they feel like they're not getting better, they're still not understanding people, they're still not being able to speak to people, and they feel like the needle is not moving, although they are learning. That's because they don't speak a lot, they don't interact a lot. Doesn't mean they don't learn, it just means the felt sense of proficiency takes way longer to arrive. So it's really hard on motivation and confidence. The people who just figure it out move really fast in their felt sense of proficiency. Eventually, once they move to the intermediate, especially the higher intermediate, they hit the I didn't figure out the grammar limit. Because there is no way people move beyond B2. Within B2, it gets really hairy without ever studying grammar. It's really hard to move beyond B2, so into the C1, C2, which is usually what you need for higher professional use, for negotiation, for like actually working in senior management positions or as a lead engineer or a site leader or something in German. Those are the levels that you want to be looking for. Also, master's courses in German, university studies generally require that. Mostly visas don't. Visas usually require A1, A2, or B2, depending on the type of visa you're in. But if you want to get to that professional negotiation level German, you need to learn grammar, you might as well start studying it in the beginning, because the mistakes you make and consolidate in the beginning, those are going to be a big pain in the butt to solve later, right? So you might as well do that from the beginning. If you're one of those, oh, I'll just figure out myself how this works for people. At this point, this is where it's going to come home to you, right? For everybody else who doesn't actually require advanced level German, you're on a 2-year assignment, on a 1-year assignment, on a 5-year assignment, but your job is in English. Your main network is in English. You don't actually need more than like a high beginner or an intermediate level. You want to like take the train. You want to not get lost. You want to like be able to order some things. You want to be fine in your daily life. You don't actually need to study a lot of grammar for that. So if you don't like it, skip it. It's fine. There's no need for you to invest in accuracy if you never actually want to impress anybody with your accuracy, which is usually what's required if you're using it in corporate, political, networking, or other types of situations where you're supposed to bring across authority, etc. Right? So this is really important for you to understand how to prioritize what you do, right? If you're a professional, if you have a job, or if you're doing several things at once and relocating, you don't have the time, right? So you don't need to buy 15,000 grammar books if all you ever need is to talk to your neighbor and to the lady at the grocery store, right? If, however, that's where you want to go, you want to have really safe, good negotiation proficiency level German, you might as well start from the beginning. The good news is there's a lot, and when I say a lot, it is a lot. There's a lot of very good material out there, free, paid, of all the styles, to learn German. And if you want some of my like main recommendations for, let's say, the grammar type and the let me figure it out type style, and also for the 2 types of goals, right? Daily life, survival German, and negotiation level, perfect German. Let me know, and I'll work on that for you guys. But there's a lot out there, and it really does not matter what you use, especially in the beginning. The A1, A2, so the beginner levels, are pretty much standard anyway. Everything, every resource that you will use that is structured in that way will bring you to the goal that you want. If you need to pass a test, by all means, use a book or a resource that works on that test style. But if you just need it for daily life, take something that you like and roll with it. You need a lot of vocabulary, you need a lot of phrases, and communication-ready expressions. Careful with Duolingo, it's not going to fix your problems. It's really good for vocab acquisition. You just have a bunch of random words that you know if you have a really long Duolingo streak, and it can be useful for that. But it doesn't, and I've seen a lot of people use it, and all of them say the same thing. It does not explain the structure. You do not understand the structure. You do not understand communication-ready phrases, and like go out actually being able to talk. But it's good to sew in some phrases and words into your memory, right? So if you like it, just go ahead and do it. If you actually want to communicate, choose resources that will train communication with you, or that will help you train communication. If you need help, let me know.